Well, excuse me, but welcome along to Nemesis Online Racing. Welcome back for round number 18 of the championship. We are here in the US of A. Getting ready to go racing in Kota for round number 18. Very close to the end of the season now. Just 3 rounds remaining after tonight. Those including Mexico, Brazil, and of course Abu Dhabi. But right now it's all about America, with the championship taking a little bit of a turn, but not as much as it could have done. Last time out in Suzuka, race leader Chazza was taken out by Douglas Anderson, the Afro man. Somehow has got away with no penalty for it. You're watching Nibbler and Ragnar battling in it out for pole position at the moment. Chaz is only in 3rd at the moment. We'll have to see if we can have a bit of a better sector. I'm just trying to get the championship standings up. And there you go then. So you can see that pretty much 298 points in favour of Chazza. 275 for Nibbler, so he's not overly far behind. But he is not as close as he could be. So coming up to the final corner then in up to the line, it's going to be Nibbler taking another pole position ahead of Ragnar, splitting the 2 Ferraris. Chazza in P3, Defstez P4, the only American on the grid this evening. Of course, Kevin Jacobs not attending, but takes P4 at his home Grand Prix. We'll have to see if he's able to convert that into anything into the race. We've seen he's been very good at qualifying this season, but he's struggled with the race consistency. So we'll be able to see what goes on this evening. Final 4 rounds, including this one. We can see then it's mainly an ultra soft affair, but great lap by Callum Spencer to get up in P6 on the super soft tyres. He's arguably going to be in the best position of anyone in the top 10. So we'll see how he gets along in the race. Nemesis Racing in P11 also on the supers. Murcielago on the softs, and Galactic Skull 2 on the supers as well. Maka is 3 seconds off the pace of second to last, but I spoke to him earlier this evening and he said that his plan was to qualify last so he could avoid trouble in the first lap. A bit upsetting that some drivers feel like they have to resort to that, and that's how much contact we tend to have in these races in the Everton laps, that some drivers would rather just not qualify. But it is what it is. As we get ready for round 18 of the championship. So we will be seeing the cars on the grid shortly. Just waiting. To get going once again. So here we are on the grid then for the formation lap that these guys will go on. And who is it then that's going to be the winner after today? Who's going to be the winner in terms of the championship after today? It's all still to play for. Albeit it's looking like Chazza has the advantage coming into this round, definitely. Coming out of this round, it's going to be tough to predict who. Chazza could just have a decent day here by just not making any mistakes and bringing home that P3. He's got a championship to think about, but I'm sure Ferrari will be requesting the move is made on Ragnar for the 1-2, as always. Defstez is looking to have a clean afternoon. He needs some strong points in the bag. Defstez, in terms of the championship, is currently in P15. That's not really been very representative of his performance. He can overtake Murcielago if he outscores him by 10 points here today. So it's all to play for Defstez. Especially Murcielago is outside of the top 10, so it's all looking possible for Defstez at the moment. Getting ready for the end of the formation lap, and then we're going to get ready for a very long race. So strap yourself in as we get ready for round number 18. There they are then. Coming up to the grid. And getting ready to get underway. So here we are then, getting ready for 5 red lights. Who's going to be the big gainer in terms of the championship after today? Let's find out. It's an Australian on pole, followed by an Italian. These two have an intense rivalry after Russia. Lights out, away we go. It's Ragnar who gets the better start. The Nibbler's going to try defend with all his might. Is there anything he can do? Can he hold it around the outside? No, he's going to go for the switchback instead. Ragnar going very wide. Some contact in the background. A lot of guys losing the front wings. And Nibbler takes the lead back away from Ragnar. Ragnar will have to settle for P2. Meanwhile, Chaz is making quite light work of the Ferrari at the moment. Nice Dougie Aframan making up a position into P5. Danny Ibn Lahar's had a pretty poor start as well. Cal Spencer has now snuck up out of nowhere to take P6 back. He slipped out of P6, but has hence gained the position back. You can see all the cars moving through this next section. You can see Tesla Meister's had a pretty poor start as well. I think he was one of the cars involved in the contact. Maka keeping his nose clean in the background. Ragnar really pushing onto Nibbler now, and Chaz is going to try get in the way to try defend his teammate, because Ragnar has the slipstream and he has the better run on Nibbler. Nibbler using all of his ERS to defend from Ragnar in this particular situation. Is the sister Ferrari there to assist? No, he's not. Ragnar looking down the inside for the lead of the race on lap 1. Takes it, but doesn't get it. Nibbler has the racing line on the outside. Very stern defense from the Australian. Takes it away. Defstez is now battling away with Dougie Aframan. Scotland versus USA, Sauber versus Force India in this battle. Dougie Aframan has just been sent up the inside by Callum Spencer, and I'm sure Dougie will not be happy with that one, because he's going to try send him back up the inside of the flat out right hand corner. Callum Spencer going off the track a little bit is going to lose that position to the Sauber. That's going to put him under pressure from Danny Ibn Lahar. There's contact. Danny Ibn Lahar has gone spinning round into the wall, loses a chunk of front wing. It's not gone well for the Renault. Will he pit immediately to repair that damage, or will he stay out? He's going to pit and get that damage attended to pretty much immediately. Testameister is in as well, so both the Renaults are going to end up stacking at this point. This is going to be very bad start for Renault. Both of them needing new front wings, both of them in the pits at the same time, and they're going to have to stack. Look, there's Danny, and he's just stuck behind the other Renault. This is a shambles for Renault, because look at this. Once Danny is able to actually pull into his pit box, they're still going to take a while to get the tyres ready, and now they can get to work. The front wing wasn't ready. Bad start for Renault. Terribly bad start, sorry, for Renault. Drama all happening in the pit lane in that particular incident. Both the Renaults getting involved in incidents early on, and that's effectively ruined Renault's afternoon before it's even got going. Ragnar's still trying to do anything to chase down Nibbler. Meanwhile, Dougie Aframan's going at it with Defstez, going up the inside at the end of the long straight. Cal Spencer just behind the spare, watching these two go to work. And Defstez goes a bit wide in trying to hold it around the outside. That's going to put him under a little bit of pressure from his teammate in the background. Galactic Skull 2 is battling away with Murcielago. Murcielago looking like he's going to have to subdue that position. He does. Can't defend it against Galactic Skull 2. But he's going to try to get the undercut, maybe for the right corner. No, nothing doing. So Murcielago subdues that position for now. Dougie Aframan up into P4. Defstez P5 under pressure from his teammate in P6. And that is a Force India diving to the pits on lap number 3. Very early stop to get off the Ultra Softs. Or are they Hyper Softs? I can't tell. I think they might be Ultras. Let's find out. No, those are Ultras, so that's an incredibly early stop, even for ultra soft tyres. And it's a new front wing for Defstes, so that's what's happened. Defstes has lost his front wing somewhere and decided he needed to get that damage repaired. Now, where will he come out in reference to Testermeister? It should come quite... Oh, Testermeister is lagging. Okay, that's what's happening. So Testermeister has a bit of a bad connection at the moment. I thought that was a lot more serious accident than it really was. Anel Tanovic has just been shoved off the track by someone, and everyone's just helping themselves to positions here. So here we go then, into the hairpin. Anything? Big send by Murcielago on Anel Tanovic. Jobs are good, and meanwhile the battle for the lead is underway once again. Ragnar on the inside, and it's Nibble on the outside once again. The outside line is favoured for the racing line here. Ragnar's going to try squeeze with all he can, but he gets squeezed a little bit back by the Australian. He's going to try go for the switchback undercut. That's going to put him on the outside, and he'll lightly break early to try to do a double switchback. No, Nibbler covers it off, but now he's going to try to switchback. Knows nowhere to go because Nibbler's in the way. He has to back out of it, but he's still chasing him. Hammer and tong through the flat-out corner we go. Looking for anything coming into the penultimate corner. Is there anything there? No, definitely not. But he might be able to set up the last corner move because Nibbler's gone a little bit wide and got a bit of a tank slapper on coming into the final corner. Ragnar now double switching back. Anything? No, nothing. DRS open and ERS will be deployed. He's going to try go around the outside of turn one to get this move done for the lead of the race. What can Nibbler do? What can Nibbler say about it? Up the inside. Ragnar's going to try to do the switchback. Exactly what Nibbler did to him to take back the lead of the race on round one. Ragnar's into the lead of the race at the expense of Nibbler 331. Nibbler's got to push back here. He's got to try to take that position back. I'm sure of it. And Eltanovic comes in the pit lane. New tyres going on. Soft compound tyres looking like it's going to go to the end from here. Chaza has been let through by his teammate. Interesting swap going on at Ferrari. Callum Spencer is closing in on Dougie Afroman. These guys had a little bit of a scrap earlier on. Here you can see the positions gained and lost so far during this race. It's a send up the inside from a long way back from Callum Spencer. Goes a bit too deep. That's going to allow Dougie Afroman to simply undercut and get back alongside. Now, Callum Spencer shouldn't be too upset with that because he still has DRS. So he just upsets the run for Dougie Afroman a little bit, and that's going to allow him pull alongside, take the racing line. Job is a good one for Callum Spencer. He's up into P4. Job complete. Meanwhile, we can see Galactic Skull 2 looking for anything on Lord Jord at the back of that straight, weaving around, trying to get some sense of where he can make a move, but there's not a lot of places to do so. He's just a little bit too far back. Now Galactic Skull 2 still trying to chase Lord Jord. He's going to go up the inside here. That's from a long way back. He'll squeeze Lord Jord wide, and that's going to invite Murcielago for a free position, is it? No, it's not, because he's not there in time. Lord Jord sits in behind the Sauber, who now makes this a Sauber 5-6. Lord Jord goes a little bit wide on the outside. That is going to allow Murcielago to have a little bit of a play with Lord Jord, but nothing doing. Has to pull back. Meanwhile, the man who was leading the race a few laps ago is now in the pits, the pole sitter. On the soft compound tyres, it looks like they've gone for... It's really hard to tell. He is on supers on our screen, but his mechanics were holding soft tyres, and he is, in fact, on soft tyres. So one-stop strategy for Ferrari here, it looks like, today, to try counteract the speed of Ragnar. We ride on board with Red Bull. We've got Nemesis Racing in the pits as well for a new front wing. Has lost it with an altercation with somebody somewhere. Might have been one of the many pieces of carbon fibre confetti we saw on the very first lap. So Maka now into the pits as well for Red Bull. They're going to take on a new pair of soft compound tyres, while the other Red Bull tries to get to work on Lord Jord UK in the background. DRS open for Murcielago. Really going for it here. Gaining. Going to look to the inside. Trying to take the position away from Lord Jord UK up the inside. Job's a good one. Mission complete. And there you go. Lord Jord is going to try a switchback, but nowhere to go with it. He's going to double switchback to go up the inside like Galactic Skull 2 did to him. No. Doesn't have the pace, doesn't have the room, doesn't have the brakes to do it. Murcielago made a little bit of a front lock up there, which is interesting because it's not a corner I would expect you to brake through. Definitely a smoke pickup from Murcielago though. How long can Lord Jord hang with him? Lord Jord on 4-lap old ultras that are now starting to reach the cliff. Seen some drivers have a lot more tyre wear than others during this race. Lodrod is trying to hold on to Murcielago here. Push in with all his might, however. So, with that all being said and done, battles have kind of dissipated a little bit. And the next battle will likely be Nibbler making his way back through the field. No DRS, so he wasn't within a second at the DRS detection point. Definitely be towards 1 second behind him. At least, I mean, Lodger just moves out the way and lets Nibbler through. Not a whole lot of point fighting that one. Job complete. Nibbler into P7. Long way to go on those tyres though. Lodger looks like he needs to get off those tyres as well. Meanwhile, the other Ferrari picks up a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Not for the first time this season, but it is going to affect him in this race. Soft compound tyres for the Ferrari as well. And it looks like there's an issue in the pit stop. Was that 5-second stop-go penalty served? Was that what was happening there? They served him? Or was he waiting? I'm not sure. That was a long hold for Chaza. I'm not sure if they were serving the pit stop or not. Hard to say. Murcielago has been passed by Nibbler as well, making his way through the field. So, all the gaps are pretty wide. Lodrod has come out slightly ahead of Nemesis Racing in the battle for the final point. We'll see how that one dissipates. So Nemesis Racing going for Lord Jord. So Ragnar, race leader, then into the pits, has stopped for some new, fresh, soft tyres. He's looking to go to the end as well. He has been significantly undercutted by Nibbler. Nibbler is now closed into the back of Galactic Skull 2, and will need to try to dispatch the Scotsman pretty quickly. The Scotsman not eager to dive out the way like we've seen some cars do for Nibbler today. He'll have to earn it, which will likely do a little bit of DRS assistance. Destes makes his second stop of the day. Gamble gone wrong for Force India. Will he send it at this corner? Looks that way, down the inside. Job complete. He'll get DRS as well to pull away from Galactic Skull 2. It's a good move by Nibbler then to start putting him into the net lead. Now, the next man to keep an eye on is Callum Spencer in terms of this lead battle. If Chaza could close up to Ragnar. Now, what is going on for Chaza? There's a yellow flag showing on Chaza's. There's a yellow flag showing on everybody's dash. Is that on the race leaders? There's yellow flags. There is a safety car apparently, and we've not been told. There is a safety car deployed apparently. We've not been told of this. That's perfect for Callum Spencer to come into the pits if it is a safety car situation. Very careful to not speed into the pit lane and get a silly penalty. Dougie Afroman and Galactic Skull 2 will be big gainers as well. However, the two Saubers will have to stack, which will make the day for Galactic Skull 2 a little bit miserable. A lot of people coming into the pit, so it's the wise thing to do. Nibbler will take trap position again. What was the safety car for? Danny Bin Lahar gets a penalty for speeding under the safety car, but there was no warning. We was never told that there was a safety car. We still don't know if there is actually a safety car. Unless I actually see it, I'm not sure I believe it, because there is nothing, and there is the safety car then, because the stream system, the system that displays all the information for myself to commentate upon, it's not been updated with anything relevant to a safety car. Cal Spencer, big gainer in that one, but he's gone for ultra soft tyres. So, interesting choice there, not going to the end. Neither is Galactic Skull 2. Maka has pitted for some supers. Now, how long we're going to be on the safety car for, we don't know. Maybe this was to clean up some debris. Quite bizarre. Interesting then that the safety car has been deployed. I'm really not sure how or why anything has caused it, but it has happened. And here we are then. So let's take a look at what's happened so far in the race then. In terms of tyre strategy, the man in the better position right now is Ragnar on them one lap old sauce. If you say that one lap extra, he would have been in a prime position, but nevertheless, he's still a big gainer. Carl Spencer's gained pretty well as well. However, in my opinion, I think he's chose the wrong tyre compound to go to the end of this race. I don't think he's going to be able to, but maybe he's just not comfortable on the soft compounded tyre. Dougie Afroman is probably the biggest gainer in terms of when it comes to all this. Murchie now pits and gets disqualified from the session for quote-unquote ignoring yellow flags. For what reason? What? He didn't do anything. He came into the pit lane and got disqualified. Well, I do feel very sorry for these guys. These guys have been penalised for pitting under the safety car. In fact, Murchie has been disqualified for pitting under the safety car. So Nemesis Online Racing League is 100% going to have to do something about that, because that, I can't agree with that result standing. That is the most, if that result stands, that is going to be one of the more unfair things I've ever seen in my commentating career, if you will. He got disqualified for pitting. That seems a bit. And Danny Bin Lahar was also penalised for pitting. I don't know why. It wasn't as if they were ignoring yellow flags. They were just coming into the pit lane. It seems a bit silly. It is a bit silly. It doesn't seem anything. It's ridiculous. The Nibbler has been the big loser in all of this. Because everyone behind him is on newer tyres. He's got track position back, but that's about it. All the hard work he's done thus far, he's going to have to do again. However, Ragnar will have to try pass him again. And Shazza will be on him like a fly on cow dung to try stop that from happening straight away. Controversy, because it's very controversial in my opinion, because the safety car wasn't needed. There was no reason for the safety car. There was no crashes. And the safety car's going very slowly. Is the safety car coming in this lap, or are we going to have another lap of safety car? I think we're going to have another lap, because the lights are still on. So what have we got this safety car for? I don't understand But anyway, enough about that. So let's take a look while we are under safety car conditions. Let's talk about the championship a little bit. Let's talk about who's gaining and who's losing so far today in the championship. Ragnar's a little bit far back to challenge any of the Ferraris in the championship at the moment, and he probably won't be able to challenge them for the rest of the season. He's almost 100 points down on Niblo in second place, so it's really about pride for him at the moment. Danny Ibn Lahar going to be a bit of a big loser here today, not really scoring any valuable points, not scoring any points at the moment. He is 21 points ahead of Aneltanovic in the standings, but he's only in 9th, so not really great for Aneltanovic either. Then it's Nemesis Racing, who's not in the points either, so he's going to lose out. He's on 101 points, and then behind him is Testermeister on 96 points. He's only in 10th, so right now he's not doing a lot of good work. Kevin Jacobs is not here. He is on 75 points. Dougie Afroman is 5 points behind him. He's in P5. Very good points for Dougie Afroman on offer here at the moment. Just 3 points behind Dougie Afroman on 67 points is his teammate, Galactic Skull 2. He's in P6. So both of these boys could potentially jump Kevin Jacobs in the standings here today. Then it's Subaru Ryan, who has pulled out with immediate effect. Callum Spencer is 4 points behind him. He's in P4, so he will likely overtake Subaru Ryan today. He's almost definitely going to, unless he has a dismal second half to the Grand Prix. And then 1 point behind Callum Spencer is Lord John UK, who's in P7, so he's probably going to lose out to Callum Spencer, but he'll likely overtake Ryan here today as well. And as for that, that's about it. Destes needs to outscore Murcielago by about 10 points to really do anything, and he's not in a position to do that at the moment. But safety car is in this lap, and we'll be able to go racing once again after we've had a safety car for no apparent reason. Very bizarre. But I'm going to go racing again. Here in the US of A. Not looking good for Niblo. He's in the lead, but the tyre situation is fully against him. What can he do from here in the race? Let's find out. Let's go racing. For the second time today, it is lights out and away we go then. Green flags all the way. And here we go, Chaz against a very poor exit. That's going to allow Callum Spencer to pull alongside of him and almost take third place into turn one. Is he going to be able to do that? Chazza might set up the switchback here. Callum Spencer's going to go a little bit deep. And there's the standard switchback maneuver from Chazza. That's going to allow him to pull alongside and go side by side with Callum Spencer into the S-bed section. Callum on that fresh ultra soft rubber though is going to be able to just out-drag him. And Chazza falls off the podium after making an early mistake. Caught napping a little bit. Lord Job makes a mistake. He's sliding all over the place. That's going to allow... Oh, we've had Defstes have a spin in the S-bend section. Maka takes evasive action. All gone wrong on the restart for Defstes. Ragnar challenging for the lead is now side by side with Nibbler. They're going to go into the hairpin side by side. Callum Spencer's going to get involved in this. It's going to be free abreast. Dive bomb down the inside from Callum Spencer. He's going to go a little bit deep, far too deep. He's going to get undercut by both of them, surely. He's going to come side by side on with Ragnar. Ragnar side by side, going to have to try out drag with that Honda engine versus the Mercedes engine of the Force India side by side. Who of them can? None of them is going for the slipstream of Nibbler. Callum Spencer's using the slipstream to still stay in challenge with Ragnar here. Can he hold it around the outside? It's going to be very tough to do so. But he's going to get a better run on the new ultra soft tyres. Is he going to send it? No, because it's a late defence from Ragnar closing the door behind him. The two Saubers are going at it as well. Aneltanovic does pass Lord Jord as predicted. Two Saubers going at it in the meantime as well. And Callum Spencer has dive bombed and passed Ragnar into a very obscure corner. Just checking Callum Spencer's stream, there was a bit of contact. The banging of front wheels have come together. Callum Spencer's on the warpath. He could be in a position to take the lead at the end of this lap. And here we can see we've got Danny Ibn Lahar having to pit to serve his penalty. An unfair penalty in my eyes. And he picks up another one. He picks up a speeding in the pit lane penalty while serving his pre-existing penalty. Awful day here. Galactic Skull 2 has made the move on Dougie Afroman. But Dougie Afroman unable to do anything about it. And now here comes Aneltanovic to add his name into the equation. The two Alfa Romeo Saubers really going at it here. Not having a good time thus far though. Aneltanovic looking for anything. You can see more cars in the background. What's the battle for the lead? Looking like Nibbler's got a little bit of a lead, but there is going to be DRS involved when we get on this back straight. Ragnar's going to be there as well. Count Spencer doesn't have a lot of ERS, so that could be all the difference here. I think Nibbler might be able to hold on using ERS to his defense. We'll see. Count Spencer's actually got a much better run than I anticipated. Is Nibbler even going to defend? No, he's going to stay on the outside, but we know the outside. Ah, contact! Count Spencer banged tyres there with Nibbler. Nibbler went steaming off on the outside. That could have been a lot worse than it was. Count Spencer very aggressively takes the lead of the Grand Prix. And Ragnar's trying to get involved though because he could still win this Grand Prix. Count Spencer is not going to be able to go to the end on those ultra soft tyres, so he's just trying to make them last while he has them. Very aggressive in doing so. Oh, and a bit of lag then for Dougie Afro, man. Do apologise about that. That one hurt the throat a little bit, that exclamation, all for nothing. Maka into the pit lane, presumably to serve a penalty as well. What a day for penalties it's been, and pretty much all of them have been unjust. But, as the old saying goes, that's Codemasters. So here we go then through Sector 1. Callum Spencer leads at the moment on them fresh ultra soft tyres. And Dinny Bin Lahar gets disqualified from the session for ignoring a drive-through penalty. He's in the pits, serving, trying to serve that penalty, and he's been disqualified. That is completely and utterly unfair. There's no other word for it. Danny Bin Lahar gets disqualified. He pitted to serve his penalty, but the game gave him a pit stop as well, and he got disqualified for it. There has been no consistency in the stewarding from the game here today, and it's frankly, and I can't ignore it any other way, it's been completely and utterly unfair for these drivers here today. They haven't had any chance. That's a move by Dougie Afroman to re-overtake Anatanovic, who's made a mistake. But the stewarding from the game system, hopefully some of these penalties are going to be reversed, or they're going to, Nemesis Racing is going to have to try to do something. But both Murcielago and Danny have been disqualified this race for completely unfair scenarios. It's been awful today. It really has been absolutely disgusting the way the game has handled this today. Anatanovic is getting a bit of Tokyo drift on, making a mistake. He's going to come into the pit lane now. And is he going to scrap those super soft tyres? Not enjoying them. So Callum Spencer leads, trying to make the most. We're just getting the right selection here. Trying to make the most of them ultra soft tyres while they're still there, because they are going to go off the cliff soon. 3-lap younger softs in favour of Ragnar, trying to get him the race win here today. Chaz is really trying to go for it as well. Nibbler's gone a little bit wide up there as well. Galactic too, good performance from him so far on the ultras as well, but he's going to have to pit again as well. His teammate did the opposite to him, went on the softs. He's going to be able to go to the end this race. Down the back straight we come. Galactic 2 going very wide out the final corner. At half a second then in favour. Nibbler using the DRS from Callum Spencer. Oh, that was very, very close. Ragnar missed his braking point. And thus track extends a little bit to stay in that position that he was in, but very much missed his braking point, almost rear-ending Nibbler. That would have been more controversy to this. Callum Spencer's ultra softs are dying very quickly now. He's got to think about getting on the softs and going to the end. Maybe he's going to have better tyres at the end. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to manage to go, you know, more than 10 laps plus. 13 laps we'll be looking at now, 16 laps coming onto this lap. The grit's just not going to be there for anyone. I think everyone's got to make a stop again. Other than those are very brave, but it's a send up the inside from Nibbler. And Callum Spencer will try the undercut attempt and try to go around the outside, and it will maintain first position in doing that undercut that Nibbler did to him just a bit earlier on. But you could see Callum Spencer starting to struggle on these ultra soft tyres now. He really needs to start thinking about what his pit strategy is going to be. It's a matter of time before the ultra softs go completely, because even the worn soft tyres are really starting to capture these guys now. Murcielago in the chat saying that he does get disqualified from the session, yet Danny only got a penalty. Anatanovic has just retired from the session. And his left decision, is it to crash? I can't tell. We can't see him on the track anyway, but a battle for the lead. Nibbler's going to go side by side then. DRS assistance for Nibbler trying to go past Cal Spencer, and Ragnar's going to come. You know Ragnar's going to get involved. He's going to try follow Nibbler through. Nibbler's trying to squeeze Cal Spencer out, and that's going to allow Ragnar to aggressively push Cal Spencer off the track, return the favour from what Cal Spencer did to him a few laps ago, and he's going to try hold it around the outside, side by side for these guys coming into the very oscillating corner and banging tyres, and Cal Spencer comes off worse. It doesn't work for him on that occasion, but Chaz is in the background as well. Championship leader's got to be careful not to get his nose in this, because he can't afford 2 DNFs in a row in this championship. But he is going to get involved. What a move by Chazza. Just sends it from out of nowhere. Big track extending from both Chazza and Callum Spencer. What a move out of absolutely unsighted from Chazza. Just sends it from absolutely anywhere. Crazy. Tedestes has made a move on Galactic Skull 2. Galactic Skull 2 has really dropped off the cliff now and has to pit to get rid of them ultras. It's all come undone for Galactic Skull 2 at the moment. Testameister's starting to close in on Dougie Afro, man. That could reignite some old rivalries. The top trio still moving about. Callum Spencer still not pitting, trying to stay with these guys, but the ultras are just screaming, enough. We can't do this anymore. I think these guys are all trying to go to the end, but they're going to be so slow come the end. If they do try go to the end and they put another 11 laps on these tyres, it's going to be like driving on an ice ring. But here comes Ragnar, gaining, looking to try send it up the inside, too far back. Going to try get a better run than Nibbler in the next corner. No, doesn't get a better run. It's about the same, but he's still very close to the back of the Australian. Testameister has moved past Dougie Afro, man. I'm sure the Scotsman won't be best pleased about that one. Not a big fan of Testameister. Testameister not a big fan of Dougie Afro, man. Somehow have negotiated it cleanly though today. Ragnar trying anything to get past Nibbler. I wonder what these guys' strategies are going to be today. Does Callum Spencer pit? Yes, he does. He has no choice but to get off the ultras. He's losing too much time now to justify staying on them. Into the pits he will come. And what tyres will they put on that Force India, I wonder? Let's find out. It looks like super soft tyres then for Force India. Looking to go to the end on this two-stop strategy. But he's been held for an awful long time. Is he serving a penalty for something? There's a long hold from Callum Spencer. It's going to cost him a little bit. It's going to cost him to his teammate, who's on 10-lap-old softs. There goes his teammate. I'm sure he'll let him through when he catches him, though, in the sake of teamwork. And Ragnar's gaining on Nibbler once again. Is he going to send it up the inside? No, he's going to hold back and wait for the DRS assistance. But Chaz is there to back up Nibbler if it all goes wrong. So here we go, back on the back straight once again. DRS will be deployed in favour of Ragnar. Moves to the left, to the inside, to take the lead of the Grand Prix. Chaz has had an absolutely abysmal exit. So Nibbler's all alone out here. Got to try, hold it on the outside. Ragnar squeezing him off. Contact between the pair. Nibbler still trying to hold it on the inside. Has to subdue the position, but Ragnar goes a little bit wide himself. Is that going to allow Nibbler to have a little bit of interference with the Italian? No, the Italian looks like he's got the move done. Looks like he's all set. Ragnar had the better line through there, but he had too much of a gap to work with that he couldn't really go anywhere with it. Ragnar takes the lead of the Grand Prix on lap 18, and we'll have to see what the rest of the strategies are looking like for the end of the race. These guys have still got an awful long way to go on these tyres. And we've got 3 very quick ultra soft runners in the back, super soft runners, sorry, in the back, looking to go to the end as well. So which strategy is going to pay out better? Nibbler could ideally use this win for the championship, especially if Chazza could only manage third today. That would be 10 points gained in favour of Nibbler, and that would put Nibbler within a decent amount for the last few races. It would give him more to work with. At the moment, he's got to do more because he would only be gaining 3 points on the championship rival, and that really wouldn't be that much of a dent for Chazza. Chazza could still have 2 pretty bad races and still go into the final round with more points. So Nibbler needs to start working at the back of Ragnar now. Ragnar's not involved in this title fight, so he's got nothing to lose. But more pressure on Ferrari than there is Toro Rosso. Is that having an effect today? We'll never know. So lap 19 will be coming on to lap 20. Just under 10 laps to go here at the Circuit of the Americas. One of the biggest circuits in the USA, if not the biggest circuit in the USA. And it is an absolute tyre killer. Hence why we're so concerned for Nibler's tyres, because he pitted early. He couldn't keep up the pace on the Ultras, forced him to an early stop. And here you see him having to work with 3 lap older softs as a result. He gets DRS. How aggressive will the Aussie be on Ragnar? How much does he want to interfere with Ragnar's day? Does he want to win more than he wants Ragnar to lose? Who knows? Nibbler looking. Nothing doing up. Got to stay behind for another run. He just needs to try and get a better exit than him on the DRS corner. And then that will really give him an opportunity. But other than that, there's not really many else he can go with this. Cal Spencer goes purple. Really putting in the laps now. That's something to consider for Ferrari. Stopping again for the extra pace. Nibbler looking. Trying to sell a dummy up the inside to scare Ragnar out of his braking point. Might have worked a little bit here. Nibbler's got a pretty good exit. It worked. It actually scared Ragnar off his braking point, and that's allowed Nibbler to pull alongside and take the lead of the race back. And now Chaz is going to get involved. Can he play rear gunner for Nibbler here today? No, not at the moment. Oh, contact, and he's put him around. That's not the rear gunner I was looking for. Chazza has half-tapped Ragnar out of the way. Ragnar drops to P3. That's not the rear gunner statement I was looking for. But now Chazza can defend Nibbler. It's a Ferrari 1-2. Ragnar will be very disappointed with that, to say it nicely. And he'll try to get back past Ragnar and try to get past Chazza, sorry, and Nibbler. But Nibbler's going to have to try work with his gap because an opportunity has presented itself. And I'm sure there's going to be some conspiracy theories in the racing chat after this saying that that was a team order. But it looked like one of them things. It's really hard to say. We don't have a replay feature. It'd be nice if we did. And then we'd be able to review, you know, what just happened and then see if it looked malicious or not. But it looked like it was just a case of 2 cars in the same corner, trying to use the same line, not working out for them. Callum Spencer is putting in fastest lap after fastest lap to try and maximise it. He's got to be careful though, because although he's got more grip than everyone else, he needs to conserve them a bit. These tyres do need to do another 7 laps. So he can't just use them all up in one go. Eat all his sweeties at once. He's got to conserve them a little bit. So, gaps are an opening once again. Chazza gaining a little bit on his teammate though. His teammate and championship rival. Got 2 lap younger is what I wanted to say. Soft tyres to work with. I can't even speak. Through the flat out right hand corner. Gaining more time, down to 1.1 the gap now. Looking bad for Nibbler. Championship rival might be about to pass him now. Still not ideal, although Chazza can rear gun for his teammate if necessary here. He really could have used Ragnar to be in between him to make it a 10-point gain for Nibbler in the championship. Thus far, it's only about a 7-point gain. So he's got to worry about it. Chazza looking for anything. Searching for a hero. Is he going to find it? Cal Spencer's found Nemesis Racing. Bloody hell, that was from a long way back. Nemesis really didn't have anything to say about that. Callum, very aggressive move, gets the job done. Up into P7. Destes now sets the fastest lap at a Grand Prix. Cal Spencer's trying to gain as many positions as he can back. Chazza's closer to Nibbler now. Now, if these two start battling, Ragnar's going to be pulled right back in, and we're going to have a three-way battle for the lead. That would be something. 6 laps, sorry. About 5 and a quarter, really. At the end of this lap, Chaz has got a lot of understeer compared to Nibbler through that. Up to the final corner. DRS for Chaz up into turn 1. Will the move be completed? Here we go. First of the real opportunities Chaz has had. Let's see how aggressive Ferrari versus Ferrari is. Not very. No luck from Chazza at the moment. Stays behind, stays in formation. Pushing each other along. Both got to think about the championship here, though. They are teammates. They've done all the hard work this season to get into this position by working together. But now the gloves are going to start to come off a little bit because they are going against each other, looking for their NORL championships. Into the final corner. Front lockup. On the power. Here we go. DRS opens. Round 2 fight between the two Ferraris. Nibbler using all of his ERS to defend. Chazza looks to the inside, trying to sell a dummy, doing exactly what Nibbler did to Ragnar to take the lead of the race away from him. Not working for him. Chazza's still looking for anything. Chazza's starting to scrub his tyres a lot with these front lockups. It's going to hurt him. Nothing on this opportunity. He's got to just hang back, get a good run into turn 1 again, and then send it. He can't be afraid to send it, because Nibbler's going to be ready for him every time if he's not prepared to do something unexpected. Nibbler track extends by going wide, starting to lose front grip a little bit. And Chaz is close. This is the closest he's been. He's 1/10 behind. He's got to at least attempt a move here. Is Nibbler going to go defensive? What's going to happen going into turn 1? Chazza looks up the inside. Nibbler tries to hold it on the outside. Does hold it on the outside. That battle is quickly put to bed by an iron defense from the Australian. So far, advantage Nibbler, but Nibbler's on 2-lap older tyres. He can't keep this pace up for much longer. He's done well to get to where he is, but 2 laps extra wear doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. It's a lot more. Coming into the hairpin, ready to go for another DRS attack. Needs to set up a better run than Nibbler. And it's not bad, but it's not great. It's something to work with. DRS opens the rear flap for Nibbler. Not for Nibbler, for Chazza, sorry. Here comes Chazza, speaking of devil. Pull it to the inside, looking to sit the lead of the Grand Prix on lap 24. Nibbler tries to hold it around the outside once more. He's done that so many times this evening. Does it once more. And holds on to the lead of the Grand Prix again. Nothing showing a crack in his armour, but he left the door open a bit there. Invited Chazza to go down the inside, but wasn't able to. Ragnar is slowly gaining on these two again. So much is the battling. 4 laps to go, about to be free. Meanwhile, Count Spencer has caught Lord Jod as well. DRS for Chazza once more. He's about 2/10 behind here, 10.5 to be exact. Coming up to turn 1. He sent it from further back last time. Is he going to send it this time? Sends it down the inside. Can Nibbler do anything? No, because Chazza parks his car right where he needed to. Takes the lead of the Grand Prix provisionally, but now Nibbler is going to come back on the inside, but he's going to have the outside. But ESPN has to subdue that position. Chazza, championship leader, race leader. And that is not good news if you are a Nibbler fan, because that is just going to add more points to Chazza's tally in the championship. Really starting to be heavyweight title blows. These are title championship rounds now. These are the final rounds of the championship where you either make it or break it. And Chazza is throwing in the heavy punches. He's looking to knock Nibbler out of the title fight as soon as possible. Both of these guys want their first NORL championship. And now they are going for it. Look at the run that he got. No ERS left for Chazza. He could not defend, and he's having to pay the price by now being on the outside line. Nibbler parking his car perfectly. Nowhere Chazza can go from this. Ragnar's going to be involved in this in a matter of seconds as well. Chazza now looking to the inside. Can Nibbler do a switchback? No, because Chazza's parked his car perfectly. Contact between the two. Nibbler's lost a chunk of his front wing in that. And Ragnar came pretty much to a complete halt through that sector. Almost parked up trying to avoid the Ferraris. But all the hard work he did to gain on them has come undone, and he'll have to do it again. Nibbler's on older tyres and has lost a bit of his front wing. It's the part of the fight where you look. It's the part of the fight where you see the championship favourite with one fist in the air. You see the underdog below him on the ground with the referee standing above him counting to 10. Is Nibbler going to be able to do anything? He's harvesting a lot of ERS. That's something Chaz is not doing. He's trying to harvest to have one big squirt of ERS and DRS, but he's out of ERS now. Out of DRS, sorry. Chaz has not got a lot of ERS to play with. A bit of a drift out the final corner. And he's going to use whatever ERS he has to close the gap. So it was 1.4 coming onto the straight. We'll show you the difference ERS makes. 2 tenths gained. 3 tenths, another 2 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, about half a second coming into the braking zone gained just by harvesting a bit more, but he lost about half a second in actually harvesting himself. Carl Spencer passes Lordjod. He's now trying to chase down Dougie Afroman. Can he gain 7.2 seconds in the last 2 laps? That'll be interesting. Galactic Skull 2 has come into the pit lane with 2 laps to go. What's happened here? Coming in for some ultra soft tyres. Clearly not happy with the supers. Chaz is starting to pull away now. Nibbler needs to start shifting his attention to the battle for 3rd place. As unfortunate that is, Galactic Skull 2 will let the title drivers, the race leaders through. Good sportsmanship from Galactic Skull 2 there. But yes, big blow in the championship today from Nibbler, from Chazza to Nibbler, sorry. Nibbler's going to struggle a little bit more. At one point in the race, it was looking like it could be another 10 points taken out by Nibbler. But Nibbler's going to have an absolute stonking next 3 rounds to make up for losing out to Chazza today, I think. All the points matter. 3 rounds to go after almost 20, coming up to it will be a 21-week campaign for these guys. 21 weeks. Insane. That's almost half a year these guys have been going at it. Coming up to about a 5-month campaign for these guys. What a long, long run it's been for them. So now Ragnar's all over the back of Nibbler for the final lap. It is going to be Italia versus the Land of Oz. Who's going to win? Final lap then, here we go. These guys not big fans of each other. Had a little bit of a coming together in Russia. We're at each other's throats for the majority after that. Ragnar steaming around the outside, trying to take that away. But with that one, he'll go wide and is not able to do anything into turn 1. Testermeister's there. That's actually, sorry, I thought that was Dougie Afroman behind him. It's not. Galactic Skull 2 is much faster than these guys. Might come into play if he can unlap himself. Now Nibbler's losing a lot of grip through the S-bends where Ragnar is not. Ragnar's able to keep this going a little bit more because he's pitted a lap, 3 laps later, 2 laps later than Chazza, but he's going to be right on him when it comes to DRS. Galactic Skull 2 is gaining on these guys as well. He's going to be involved, I'm sure, at some point during this. So this is the main thing Nibbler needs to try to defend himself from. I don't know, Nibbler's got some ERS, but Ragnar's got more and he's got DRS. It's looking like it's going to be a hard battle How will Nibbler choose to approach it? He'll cover the inside slightly, and it's a very late move from Ragnar. Goes off the track in doing so, takes Nibbler off the track with him. I'm sure Nibbler's not going to be happy with that. No, he's not. He sends it. Contact made between the Australian and the Italian. Big contact, and Galactic Skull 2 might as well just sit and watch this. Ragnar now up the inside, side by side, the final lap of the race, shoving each other off the track. Gloves well and truly off in this one. Both of these guys not happy with each other at all, and Ragnar's going to try something from a long way back. We've seen how aggressive it's been thus far. I think it's going to be even more. He takes out Nibbler. Nibbler has gone spinning off. Chazza wins the US Grand Prix, but Nibbler has been sent off. And no, he doesn't, because has he got the 5 seconds? He has. Chazza had an unsafe stop go, got a 5-second penalty, just won the race by a tenth after that penalty was served. Nibbler was taken out by Ragnar. A steward's inquiry into that will be heard, I am almost certain. And it's ended, a controversial race has ended with a bit of controversy. Testameister putting in a mighty stint on the 20 laps, so is Dougie Aframan, but Nibbler, 24 laps on soft compound. I didn't think it was going to be possible. Certainly Callum Spencer, Death Stairs, Maka, and Galactic Skull didn't think it was possible because they pitted again. But Chazza wins then in the end after all of that. And wouldn't you like to be a fly on the wall in the steward's room once this race is all over and done with? We're just waiting for Maka to finish his lap. What a race that has been then. So Chazza, big gains, and in the end, when Ragnar takes out Nibbler and drops him down, loses another 10 points to Chazza. Big gains in the championship for Chazza. That could be, like I say, could be the knockout blow for Nibbler in this championship. Maka comes home to score a point. And there is the podium. Somehow I get the feeling Ragnar and Nibbler would not look as happy in real life as they do on this virtual podium. Chazza would be about as happy as he is on there, though. Champagne sprayed over the war horses below that carried them to their victories today. Very interesting. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a very controversial United States Grand Prix. Controversial is an understatement. Penalties, all things considered. It's going to be interesting to see. Testameister's got a 3 second, but it didn't really matter for much. Maka and Galactic Skull 2 got some respectively, but that has been a crazy Grand Prix. That's been a US Grand Prix. That's been round 18 of the NORL F1 Championship of 2018/19. Thank you so much for watching, and until next Sunday, we'll see you then. We're at the business end of the championship now. It's all coming to a close. Who's going to be your champion? Let's find out. We'll see you next time, Sunday, for Mexico. Don't miss it. Bye-bye.